Do you want to know what makes the Primo Sprocket so strong and inexpensive? Today we're going to do and explain and review on the Primo Solid guard sprocket. Oh, excuse me. Like always, we want you to hang tight because later on in this video we're going to tell you how you guys can win a bunch of free stuff from us as far as parts, and at 5,000 subscribers we're going to give away a free bike. We'll give you a little bit of rules about that. But if you want to do a quick little giveaway, we're going to give away a pair of socks from Ethic. All you got to do is comment below. First 25 people that comment below is going to get entered into this contest, and we'll ship them out to you guys free of charge. We'll select the winner in a couple days, and post a comment below to let you know who the winner is. But let's get to it. This Primo Sprocket has been around for a few years and nobody's really talked about it, so we'll kind of get into it and tell you why it's inexpensive and why it's so strong. So this sprocket is machined out of 6061 aluminum, and if you don't know about aluminum and stuff like that, it's pretty much a mixture of materials that make the aluminum harder or softer depending on what you want it to be used for. The harder it is, the stronger it's going to be, the longer it's going to last, and also too, it just makes it a little bit more expensive. Primo decided to do their sprocket out of 6061 aluminum, which is a moderately hard aluminum, which a lot of your guys' stems are made out of. So 6061 aluminum has just been so common in BMX because it just works so well with the hardness and the toughness, as well with the cost of it. So they basically took a chunk of aluminum and they machined it down to make a guard sprocket. If you're not too familiar with what a guard sprocket is, guard sprocket is pretty much a sprocket that protects your chain when you're actually riding your bike and you're doing like sprocket grinds or pedal grinds or crank arm grinds, even double pegs, lucky grinds, stuff like that, disasters, sprockets on sub boxes, just anything where you're going to bash your sprocket. Back in the day, they used to have this little sprocket guard on the bottom, and this kind of makes it different because you're actually landing a little bit more on your frame rather than pivoting on something that's sticking below your frame. So a lot of pro riders, a lot of am riders are riding these guard sprockets because they're bashing up their sprocket and they don't want their chain to break. So a lot of the times what happens is that you slide off a grind and it actually grabs the side of the plate of your chain and it pops it off, and it makes it so that that chain ends up failing, and it's not usually from the chain actually from you pedaling it, it's usually from the plate getting popped off from the side, similar to like a chain breaker. But that's why a guard sprocket is designed. Relatively, they are about the same price as a regular sprocket. If you're buying a sprocket that is a lot cheaper, usually it's just a cheaper made sprocket. It's probably not made out of 6061 aluminum. It's probably used with or built with a lower grade aluminum, or it's a drop forged sprocket where it's just stamped, and then maybe if they want to go up a little bit more on that, it's stamped and then maybe machined a little bit. But those sprockets are definitely a lot weaker. You get what you pay for, so if you're spending under 50 bucks, you're probably not getting a very good sprocket. So really think about spending a little bit more money, because even at $35 for a sprocket, you can spend another 15 bucks and actually get something that's going to last a long time. And that's what Primo has brought to the table, is they brought a sprocket that's about 50 bucks, and from there it just adds so much better stiffness, better compatibility and longevity to your actual bicycle. So what they've done is like I said, they take a solid chunk of aluminum, they put this in a machine or maybe even a multi-axis lathe, and they actually machine this down with a big tool, and they've actually created their logo out of the machining process. So they designed it on a computer. There's an XYZ pattern or axis that they have to abide by, and then there's offsets for tooling and stuff like that, even the wear and tear. So there's a lot of ingenuity that goes into these sprockets, which a lot of people don't really see or don't really respect. And there's a lot more than just saying, hey, you know what, I'm gonna put this on the machine and bam, it's just gonna make it. No, there's, you have to actually have an X, Y, and Z coordinates that tells this machine where to actually come down, and then from that center there's an actual tooling that's built around it based off of what tooling they want to use to tear out whatever material. So that actual edge will hit the edge and it'll machine it out. But as the machine or the tooling wears down and it wears, the actual blade or the cutting tool, it actually takes down like, micros of a millimeter. So that will change. So during the process of the machining, they have to continually change it to offset that and to keep it machining correctly, because they have to make this part in a minuscules of like the actual size that they want. And as the tooling wears down, that tooling will change the actual size of this, because it's no longer machining the right amount, it's actually leaving more material. So there's a lot more than I can just explain in this video. If you want to know more about it, I'd say check out a CNC video or something like that on YouTube as well. Maybe that'll explain a little bit more. It takes a lot of, lots of thousands of dollars just to design this sprocket. Then they got to actually build the actual jig or rig that they put this sprocket into to actually bolt down to start machining it. Then they got to flip it over and do the same thing. And they might have different processes too. And what's a little bit different is that it has this part right here, which is machined out in the back. So they're going to use a different style cutter to go around and cut it out. So pretty much it's pretty complicated. It's not very simple to do. So when you complain about a sprocket being made and how much it is, think about the $500,000 machine that they're using to make these, and you're only spending 50 to $100 to get a sprocket. I think that's pretty cheap if you ask me. I'm not trying to drop $500,000 on a machine just to make one sprocket. So I think we're getting off pretty easy. But they did a pretty cool job by doing that, just making it machined out of this aluminum. And then it just has a clean look to it. It's about a 45-degree chamfer right here, or machined off. And then, like I said, the logo's machined in there with the tooling. It's got 2 bolt holes for your crank arms. So you basically put your crank arm on, run a bolt through here, and that's what keeps your sprocket on. It keeps it spinning. So very simple. If you look on the back side of this thing's machined out pretty flat. They faced it. You can see some little grooves in here, similar to like a record player, but that's how you know it's machined. If it doesn't have machine marks on it, it's super smooth, glossy. They might have done a finish to it, but if it's really inexpensive, most likely it's a cheap sprocket and they just smash forged it and they're just cookie cutting these things out, and it's not gonna last. So my experience, I definitely spend over $50 on every single sprocket that I have, because it's gonna last, it's not gonna bend up, it's not gonna get bashed up, and it's just gonna be a better quality sprocket. So yeah, very cool, very simple. So that's pretty much the aesthetics and kind of like the design of it. Like we said, we're gonna give away a free parts package to one of you guys watching. So all you gotta do is like this video, comment below, tell us something you like about these videos, what you don't like about these videos, what we should put in our videos in the short future, anything that may be helping the other BMX community as far as buying different sprockets, stuff like that, and why they should spend a little bit more on their sprockets. I don't know, anything in your head, whatever pops in your mind that maybe we could help you out with. I'm glad to help you guys out with. And just do that, and then make sure you turn on your notification bell, so as soon as you guys get a notification, you can enter one of our contests, maybe one of our mini contests. Win that by just commenting something really quick, which is the first 25 people, we're gonna enter you into that contest to win like a free pair of socks or some other little things. So yeah, just that's the way you enter for that. I'll tell you how to enter the free bike giveaway a little later on in this video. So if you like this sprocket and you're wondering if it fits your chain or something like this, this one fits on pretty much any chain. It fits on a 410 chain, a 510 chain. It fits a half-link chain, especially the Primo one works really nice on this one. Any other chains that's similar to the Primo half-link chain. It fits any of the Interlock V2 chains. It fits any of the Supreme chains. There's enough clearance in between here so that it could fit in there and run smoothly. It's got chamfers, or right here on the teeth, so that it allows it to drop on the chain very easy. Also too, if you look at the teeth, they're not perfectly round. They're slanted a little bit, so it rides on here very, very easy. Makes it really nice, smooth. Just on your bike, it runs really smooth, really solid, lasts for a long time. And this sprocket will pretty much fit any style crank. If you got one-piece cranks, this sprocket will fit. If you got a 19mm spindle, which are majority of the complete bikes that are coming out this is gonna fit. It comes with 2 spacers in here. There's a 19mm spacer to this size, and it also comes with a 22. So if you have an aftermarket crank set with the larger spindle, then it has a spacer for the 22mm spindle. And these are called Sprocket hat washers. So if you don't know what it is, you want to go to the bike shop asking for one, you could ask them which one you need. Hey, I need a Sprocket hat washer, and they can get you one. Another thing is that there's a lot of 24mm spindle cranks coming out, and this hole is actually machined to 24mm. So if you have 24mm cranks, you just slide the sprocket on there. It slides on perfect, it holds up, and you don't even need any spacers, and it's going to be probably the smoothest riding sprocket because it's going to be almost perfect to this. So if you're into that, that'd be super, super cool. By Primo, they pretty much hit everything on the head. They made an inexpensive sprocket, made it super, super tough, and made it super, super cool. It comes in black, comes in polish, and then oil slick, rainbow, or jet fuel, whatever you want to call it. Comes in those 3 different colors. It's available in 25 tooth or 28. What we suggest is that you ride a 25 if you're riding like a cassette, or a 28 if you're riding trails, or you want a little bit more speed on your top end, or if you're running free coasters, so it sucks up a lot of the chain slack in your free coaster. We get a lot of people complaining about their free coaster. They wanted to ride like a cassette, but it's never gonna happen unless you ride the Z coaster. But it's not gonna happen, like I said. If you're gonna actually want it to suck up and feel more like that, I would say go to 28 tooth sprocket. But remember, if you do that, you're gonna have to buy a chain because the chain's gonna need to be longer. And a lot of these rear ends on the bikes, they're a lot shorter, so they don't have very much room to slide. So once your chain's cut, you're probably gonna have to add a half link or something like that. If you're not riding a half link, I definitely suggest you get one because they're a lot stronger. They add more of adjustability to stuff. And if you think that your chain breaks just because it's a half link, I just think you're not doing it right. We'll teach you how to do that later on in the future. So just hang tight, and when we do post it, we'll plug it here on the video so that you could easily link to that. So, but yeah, overall, I think Primo and the dudes over there did an awesome job of creating a sprocket that's inexpensive. It's a guard sprocket, it's super, super strong, it fits every single crank, and I don't know, this is one of our best selling sprockets. It kills it. If you want a good solid sprocket, I'd say buy this one, and you should have it for a long, long time. Like I said, we told you where you guys can, if you guys hang tight, I'll tell you how you guys can win a free bicycle on here. So at 5,000 subscribers, we're gonna give away a free bicycle retailed at $300, and we're gonna ship it to you guys for free just by subscribing to our channel. You gotta like this video, you gotta comment below, tell us something that you like about our video, what you don't like about our video, something that we should post in the short feature, anything to help the BMX community. Try not to put any negative comments because that's just bad. I could say a lot of bad stuff about people, but in my life it just never does good. It never helps anybody out. All you do is look like a jerk, and nobody should be looking like a jerk or just trying to rile people up. I think it's pretty immature. If you are, we're just gonna kind of ignore you and just let you sit there in your corner. But say something positive, help other people out on the page. If you see a question somebody's asking and I haven't answered it for a couple days, go on there and talk to them and say, hey, this is what I suggest, da, da, da. And if it's a little bit different than what I think, I'll chime in. I like reading your guys' comments. I like reading what you guys have to say. It really makes me hyped just to hear the community talking to each other and helping each other. Definitely cool. But yeah, that's how you enter. Make sure you turn on your notification bell so that every time we post a video, you guys know, you guys can enter. If you're looking to buy this sprocket, definitely hit up stackbmx.com. We sell this sprocket, a bunch of other sprockets. Any of these sprockets fit on any of the bikes that we sell, any of the cranks that we sell, any of the chains that we sell. So if you're tired of going to those other whack-ass mail orders that have everything under the sun, and you don't know what fits what and what fits this and why this doesn't fit this and how come you bought this and now you got to return it because that isn't compatible with this, like, stop messing with those shops. They don't ride bikes. Like, you know what I mean? They're not really into it because they ride bikes and want to help you guys out. They're, you know what I mean, they're there to sell stuff, and they're trying to put as much stuff on their website as they can to sell. I'm trying to help you, your mom, your grandma out, and, you know what I mean, any relatives that are trying to get you a Christmas gift, birthday gift, anything like that, to make it easy for all of us. There's so many different parts, so many compatibilities that it makes it really tough to buy stuff and to have people know that they can buy stuff. So buy it from our shop. Like I said, everything fits. Every time you guys buy something from my shop, I get super hyped because I know there's somebody out there that's learning how to ride BMX, or that's really good at riding BMX, and now I supplied them with the part and got it to them at a good price and got it in a reasonable time so that they can go out and ride and shred and have a good time and just basically enjoy life. You know what I mean? Sometimes we use these bikes just to get away from the homework, the, you know what I mean, stress at work, your girlfriend nagging, your mom's, you know what I mean, complaining about the trash, but you just threw it out, and, you know what I mean, so much stuff. And the bikes, just, if we didn't have to work and we could just ride all the time, that's what I'd be doing. So I want to help you guys out, but long story short, thanks for you guys' support. I appreciate you guys. Thanks for following us on Instagram at StackBMX Thanks for following me on Instagram at Can'tStopLA. If you want to know more about us, subscribe to our channel, follow us around, because we're going to do a lot more in the short future. Thanks for getting us to 1,000 subscribers. At 2,500 subscribers, we're going to give away another parts package. So make sure you enter our contest below and comment below and support us. Have a good day. We'll see you tomorrow.